Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm a collector, and along with action figures and toys and stuff like that, I also collect DVDs, and I have bought thousands, and I haven't actually managed to watch all of them. So I've been trying to actually get through them all, and where do you start? But at 1980s Italian horror movies. So I watched The House by the Cemetery. Now, I bought this film years ago. I had heard about it, like, it had a reputation, and I thought it was an American slasher film. I thought it was done by Wes Craven or something. I just bought it just because it's a house by the cemetery and you have to have a house by the cemetery. So, I've tried to watch it about 4 times and I haven't managed to get through it. Last night I failed again. I fell asleep at around 58 minutes, woke up at about an hour and 4 minutes and gave up. And I ended up watching the last 20 minutes today. So I have watched the film, but I haven't watched it in one go. I do think that is incredibly disrespectful to the film and not the best way to watch a film, but it was the only way I could get through it. Why is it so tedious? They replaced the voice of the main character in the film, which is a boy. He's about 8 years old and he's playing like a 4-year-old, which is really disturbing because he talks like a little kid and he's got quite a complicated role, but he's playing it like he's younger than he is, so it's kind of weird. And then they got, it sounds like a woman who is trying to do a boy voice doing like a kid voice. It's just weird. It doesn't sound like a human being. It really makes it cringy and hard to get through. The other voices in the film are fine, but that one's just awful. And the actor actually is interviewed on the Blu-ray, and he actually apologises for the voice, and it's not his fault, but he has apologised for it. It's horrible. But yeah, so I tried to get through the film. Now the film stars Kathleen, what's her last name? McCall. She did an interview on the Blu-ray as well. She was in a few films like The Beyond, City of the Dead. So she was in a few horror films back in the day in the 80s. She stopped before she same reason Jamie Lee Curtis did before, she had no chance of any other career. The film is good in some ways. It's got elements that I love. Basically, some random people move into a house with a history and, horrible things happen. All the usual cliches, the wife is aware of noises and things happening. The child is seeing spirits and ghosts, and no one pays any attention to either of them because, she's a hysterical woman and, that he's a child. So the main sort of men just ignore them, which does allow a lot of things to happen. Had they, taken them seriously and dealt with things at the beginning of the film, we wouldn't have had a film. But the film starts with a kid looking at the photo of the house they move into, and it has had murders in it in the past, and Dr. Freudenstein or whatever is the former owner, and they are buried on the property. And the kid is looking at a photo of the house. He sees a girl in the window telling him not to come, and she's speaking to him, and of course he's the only one who can hear it. So there's this interaction with this girl ghost throughout the film, who also seems to be like a real girl who is experiencing things herself, but she comes to him in almost a supernatural feel, and I'm like, is she a ghost? Is she real? She does seem to have other scenes with what appears to be a grandmother, but then we see the grandmother at the end as well. But we have a bunch of people being killed. The kid does a good job of acting, but the voice ruins it. The actress is a good actress. The makeup is good. The makeup is great because one of the problems with this film, and I don't know if this is just this print because this happens all the time, it's really plain. It looks like it was shot yesterday with like yellow lighting. It's shot like an episode of Full House, the way it's lit. And I don't know if that's geniuses restoring the film. We've had experts restore horror films and they don't put back the colour timing and things that make the films what they are and give them the atmosphere and the feel that they have, and they just end up looking like they were shot yesterday. So they look beautiful in that way, but they look like they were shot yesterday, like on a sitcom set or something. They just look too real. And this film has a bit of that. So I don't know if that was intended by the director or what, but the only good thing about it is you can see all the makeup in gory, exquisite detail. And the makeup is quite good. And this is probably the unedited version. They cut 4 minutes out of the original version, and a later version, like still 30 seconds. This is probably uncut, and you can see everything, and it's quite an experience. Basically, the end of the film, the boy is stuck in the basement, of course. He finds this monster, Dr. Freudenstein, who basically has been killing people to keep himself alive for 150 years, and he's this weird zombie that is half, human, half decaying flesh, but he looks more like tanned leather or something. It's quite an interesting makeup, quite an interesting monster. The wife, the mother doesn't survive. She actually gets dragged down the stairs and had her head smashed into the concrete and dies. So the final girl isn't the final girl. The main actress isn't the main actress. It's more the boy. He manages to escape with the help of the girl, who again seems more supernatural now. And at the end, basically, the boy and the girl and the grandmother walk up a road, up into the fog, into some sort of ghost world. And it's quite mysterious and nihilistic, because the woman we're with the whole time dies, and the boy escapes, but he seems to be... Did he really escape? Is he going into a ghost world? Is he dead? Is it supernatural? Are they just leading him out, and he's just walking down an actual street, and he's just going to be found somewhere walking down the street and be adopted by someone and go on and have a normal life, having escaped the house? I mean, it's kind of unclear, which makes it interesting. But I don't know. I just think there's a lack of atmosphere. The lighting, everything is really flat, and I don't know if that's a matter of the special edition, the remastering ruining it, or if it was originally meant to be like that. But it was directed by Lucio Fulci, I think his name is. I don't know how to pronounce it. He did several horror films. He was planning another one with Mario Bava, I think, and he died when he was in the post-production. Apparently he was quite misogynistic and difficult to deal with, but he did some interesting films. And another one is The Beyond, which I have, again, tried to watch, not gotten to the end. I'm going to end up watching the last half an hour of it tonight, just so I have seen the whole film. Similar problem where it has this really flat feel to it. It's too bright. It looks like it's all shot during the day, and I don't know, again, if that is people going back, remastering the original print and not treating it like the original filmmakers did. I really don't know what the case is. This does happen. It happened on Halloween 4. It happens quite a lot with horror movies where they don't put in the filters and the timing that make the film a cooler look or more blue and so forth, and it just takes out the atmosphere, and it just looks like it was shot today, like out in the bright sunlight. But either way, it ended off much better than I thought. If they could just replace the voice acting with something that sounds like a boy of the age of the actor, I think it would make a huge difference to the film. But maybe that is in part the appeal. It's so cringy, that's why people watch it. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm glad I finally watched it. I'm glad I have it in my collection. I don't know if I'll watch it again, though.